Hello everybody, and welcome to the final part of Sonic and the Black Knight. Time to defeat the boss, the Dark Queen.
Can you guys tell how enthusiastic I am?
Hold on, there's allow Tail to enjoy the cutscene if you don't mind.
Yeah, shh.
I was never going to say that, guys. Come on.
Toad? Yes, he will try to become independent from Europe.
Before that, too.
Depends on which version we're talking about.
It will be invaded by Nazis.
Hold on. True.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, that's what happens in the mythos.
Yep.
Sucks.
So she actively changed the...
That's what she wants. She saw this coming and she wants to stop it. She wants to stop the kingdom of Camelot from falling.
Huh.
Remember, how the King Arthur that we fought was never really there either. That means something was up.
So there you go, Tail. This is death anxiety taken to the ultimate extreme.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's why she was so, there you go. And now Sonic just realized it.
Ah. I got a shield. Have you learned nothing, little one?
Call Shadow, he may have some anti-tank guns.
Wrong era.
Oh, jeez.
Well,
This must be the work of an enemy stand. Oh, shit.
Well, crud, Calburn's dead.
Oh, God, really? Jesus.
Yep.
Kinda, yeah.
Kinda, sort of.
Yeah.
No.
No. Ding.
Well, don't you have anything similar to the Chaos Emerald, Sonic?
Unfortunately, no. In the previous one we had secret rings, but in here we don't have anything.
We got nothing.
What will Eggman say if he saw this scene?
Of all the things that takes out that blasted hedgehog, it's a storybook? Ah, well.
It's death anxiety.
But it's okay, because... hold on. There you go.
Personified MacGuffins.
Basically, they're saying, it's okay, Sonic. It's a lost battle. Yeah. She's too tough. Don't bother.
Give up.
Honor and shit.
Yeah.
That and the fact that, and as we all know, Sonic will never stand by when watches someone dooms the world.
Or themselves in the process.
Yep. And yeah, I love this line that's coming right now.
It was about getting the chili dog.
There you go. That line is brilliant. Why? Because whoever wrote this clearly has a fantastic understanding of Sonic's character. He just he doesn't say he doesn't care what people think. If he wants to do something specifically for good, he will, because that's just what he believes in.
Also, it doesn't matter for Sonic Adventure.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. His lyrics perfectly reflect that as well, which is so brilliant that Djinn thought of bringing it back here.
And now, with the power of the swords of the Knights of the Round Table combined.
And now CG cutscene. There you go, Terry. In this one, instead of a super form, we have Golden Knights, Golden Armor Sonic.
Is these a super ghouls and
And now Caliburn becomes...
Wait for it.
a falling symbol.
Keyblade eats her heart out.
It's like that scene in No More Heroes 2 where Travis kind of jerks off to his laser katana.
So there you go, Sonic. So there you go, Sonic's nobleness woke up the power of Excalibur. And now, final boss. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to me, the greatest final boss theme in the entire series. This is With Me, performed by All Ends.
yeah.
I love this song to death.
But what about the boss itself?
It's actually pretty fun.
It's okay. It's not. It's probably the best boss of the Storybook series. It still has its problems. Sometimes the dodge roll can be a bit wonky.
Basically,
So what do
the
you
idea.
need to do?
Go ahead, Jova. Why not?
Basically, the idea is like, well, you have to dodge her attacks before going right in, and then when you get up to there, make sure that you counter at the right time. The good thing is that you thankfully can use the Z and A buttons for dodging left and right, which makes it a lot easier. The idea is like, well, at this point, you pretty much have trained enough,
Oh,
so
you
you
need
know
to
how to do
parry
it
and
properly.
riposte. Okay.
And also
As you can
use
always
the soul
retry.
gauge.
Yeah, you have to fill. Basically, it's all about the soul gauge. Just fill it out, and when you get enough, Caliburn will warn you that now's the time, and you can just waggle away. just shake that Wiimote like there's no tomorrow.
Well, the idea is to
You might
mainly
lose your
do-
arm afterwards, but just do it.
It's just a thing, though. I would have enjoyed this game a lot better if it was done with a regular controller, because there's no real reason for this to be motion controlled.
because of the slashing motion.
Sonic slash sword.
Pretty much.
OTP.
You know, unlike a lot of people, I'm actually fine with the idea with Sonic with a sword. I mean, yeah, I'll agree that maybe the control scheme wasn't the
Well,
most
if
ideal.
for a lot of people, Shadow with a gun is acceptable. I guess this one it could go better.
Now, Shadow of a Gun is much worse than Sonic with a Sword, if you ask
Yeah,
me.
I never really got the overall outrage with Sonic being with a sword. Like, really?
It's not so much. It's not even so much.
sword and you're in our times. What do you expect?
I would even argue, Jova, that it wasn't so much the gun that was the problem. It's the way the game presented the way Shadow uses guns in that game. It's,
I actually agree because yeah, he uses even some of the
if he used the cartoony gun, then nobody would have minded. Anyway.
Shogun.
They made him an edgelord.
Or the Billy Hatcher gun.
Anyway, yeah. By the way, here's an interesting fact about this song. By the way, guess who does the guitar solo?
Jun Tanoe?
No, they got a guest one.
Some guy off a band.
Marty Friedman from Megadeth.
Really?
Yes, they got Marty Friedman from Megadeth to do the guitar solo. I love you, June.
Interesting put in your resume. What have you done? Oh, some of the most gruesome and interesting metal music to that. Oh, and I also guest starred in a Sonic game composing.
Well, it's not the first time that I've heard of something like this. In the 1994 Spider-Man series, they got the guitarist off Aerosmith to do the guitar in that theme.
Yeah.
Like one of the best comebacks of the early internet MVs was.
It's over now.
All right, time
Oh,
for the
that's a
final showdown.
God, I love this song. No!
And there we go.
My only regret is that I don't get to listen to the whole song.
YouTube exists, you know.
Not in Camelot.
Yours is a sword that will pierce the heavens, maybe.
Only just got halfway through the guitar solo too.
Oh, and you get only 25 followers for this.
This
Lame.
soundtrack gives me a boner. Anyway, moving on.
Item codex.
Yeah. All right, Taylor. Now it's time for the moral of the story.
Oh yeah,
There is a moral.
Yes.
it's a pretty good one.
Well, think
And I
about-
love this
Don't
song, by
Well,
the way.
well, considering what happened just
Hold on,
now,
hold
it
on,
makes
hold on,
sense.
hold on, here it comes. Also, I love this song.
Yeah.
Fitting. This song is called "Live Life."
And that flower survive.
It's symbolism, Dibs.
It was protected by the power of symbolism. All right, Merlina, you're under arrest.
Off with her head.
Yeah, I just told you to enjoy the time you have. Well, you only got like 5 seconds. Any last requests? But no, wait.
Yeah. Think about it. Who here has Excalibur?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess the Storybook series
Wait for
ends
it.
with Sonic becoming King of Britain.
Yes.
No, turns out Sonic was the true King Arthur all along.
Well, yeah, he was picked by Excalibur, so
Which, when you think about it, remember how the fake King Arthur was all robotic looking?
Being king isn't exactly.
And that's how it ends. Oh.
Well, we do get one after credits
There's
scene.
an ending. There's another cutscene after the credits.
Yeah.
But anyway, basically, if you haven't guessed already, though, remember, King Arthur was metallic and everything, which means he was an allegory for Metal Sonic.
Yep, that's true.
Because he was a fake King Arthur. So right now we're listening to quite possibly one of my favorite songs ever from Crush 40, Live
Live. It's a beautiful ballad and perfectly fits the moral of the game.
Also, Crush 40 doing a ballad. Wow.
Well, actually, they've done a lot of them. They haven't done many for Sonic games, but their actual original songs that they've made for their own albums, they've actually made, for example, listen to Crush 40, Is It You, and Song of Hope. They're beautiful songs.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, the reason that final boss works a lot better is was that it gives you a much wider range of motion to swing that remote, which is good. Again, my main problem is I wish that we could have gotten more up to that final boss. But I'll talk more about that in my final thoughts.
All right, so Teo, since you're
Teo, you go first.
Since you're the least experienced, go ahead. What do you think of the game?
Yeah, sure. Well, it was nice, although as you guys mentioned, a bit short, I guess.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I guess it, due to being a completely spin-off, it makes sense for it to be self-contained with not great explanation at the beginning or at the end. It just ends. I guess it kind of fits even the moral.
Oh.
The story just stops. But yeah, it was nice. We're a bit janky, and the fact that Sonic is on rails is not exactly flying off greatly to me, just like it may Johnny or Pedro may have said. But overall, it was relatively harmless. I've seen worse Sonic games.
What do you think of the story in particular, the writing in general?
Interesting fan fiction, but it kind of redeems itself in the end. So
yeah, it does. I really like the fact, like I've said before, I really like that they actually, like you specifically said, they specifically even use the actual mythology as a background for the motivation of the villain. That's a pretty clever use of the setting.
Shows an interesting idea of the fact that usually the trying to define fate, the trope, is used for the good guys, and they're gonna try to do anything while staying good guys. This is the case when one actually tries to become the villain just in order to fight.
Yeah,
interesting.
It is.
Anyway, that's pretty much all for me.
All right, Dwibs.
Okay, the story does have its moments, but that's kind of it. They're just moments. There's only like 2 or 3 real standout ones in the whole story. I mean, the rest of it's just plodding along. I don't really find the interactions between Sonic and Caliban all that funny. And yeah, I mean, and it really, I mean, other than those moments, it's just all that interesting. Sorry, I know I'm a contrarian on this subject, but there you go. The music's nice. Well, then again, anything's bound to be an improvement over the soundtrack of the last game. And the gameplay, you swing swords and you run. And other stuff. I mean, I haven't played it, but from the looks of it, it's probably not something I'd enjoy doing a whole lot. My wrist would get tired in like a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is kind of a miss.
Sherry, what do you think?
Well, I think the way the cutscenes look is a big improvement over Secret Rings. This soundtrack is, I mean, in terms of the vocal themes, it has some of my favorite themes in like the entire series. The gameplay is what it is. I didn't like it, much like I didn't like Secret Rings. I did own both games, but I never completed either of them because I would prefer a controller, thank you, or at least the option for it. I think would have been better. And yeah, I mean, like Pedro said a few times, this is pretty much the best that the Sonic characters have been written in a long time. So, yeah, this was This was pretty good. I just wish the gameplay was better.
Yep.
All right.
Well, Joe is missing though. But hold on, Joe. Hold on to your thoughts because we're about to get the after credit scene.
Mm-hmm.
So Nick Fury is gonna ask Sonic to join the Sonic forces.
Maybe.
Join the event.
This is to do
Join the
with
resistance.
what happens in Unleashed, isn't it? Or gets referenced in Unleashed, I should say.
Well, if the previous Storybook game is anything to go by, is like what Johnny said, Sonic has a house of who lives in it.
So guess what, Teo? Turns out Sonic did indeed come back to his own world, and he's telling this story to someone. So let's listen.
Amy. Well, that's the theme.
Hold on, Teo.
The romance.
Hold on, Teo.
I knew, right?
There you go, Teo. This was all just an excuse from Sonic to not go on the date with Amy. Remember, Teo, at the end, Sonic Unleashed, we promised Amy we would go on a date with her. So this is a direct reference to that. And Sonic, and this entire game was nothing but a made-up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny.
And so the last line ever spoken by Jason Griffith in a Sonic game is "Put down that hammer."
Indeed.
Unless, wait, hold on.
That's Sonic.
Da, 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 da.
That ending, that record scene is fucking genius because it completely just. There you go, Teo. Turns out you were talking about fan fiction. Turns out it kind of is. It's Sonic's made-up excuse at the last moment.
Wait, hold on. It's not his made-up thing because it actually magically changed into that because he completed the story, like in Secret Rings.
I don't know. The way they word that, it just came across to me that way. But anyway, yeah.
But it literally changed before our eyes.
Whatever.
That book was probably just there for the sake of visual, visual appeal and stuff like that.
No. It was the one he got sucked into.
The time service sounds like you're singing when you're going no.
The point is, Java, your final thoughts.
Yeah. This is a good game, but it has a lot of issues wearing it down a bit. I definitely would recommend it. The problem is that it's so short. Again, similar to Nier, I'm just left hungering, wanting for more, and it doesn't help that, the other Knights of the Round Table show up in the multiplayer stuff.
Why couldn't we get the third one, which would have been
Don't
Harry
like.
Potter?
I forgot if I already asked it, but don't like Silver and Chat also appear in the multiplayer.
Yes,
That's what I was referring to.
they're probably maybe they were meant to be in the actual story, but because of rush development, they were forced to cut them out or something.
Yeah, which is a shame because honestly, as far as spin-offs go, I definitely say that this one has a lot of its footing right. The controls, while, a bit of hack and slash waggle here there, I do feel that the controls are at least responsive enough so that as long as you have good enough timing, you should succeed. That's fine. And I do like how the sword motions actually do work well with Sonic's speed for the most part, except for with bigger enemies. And yeah, I appreciate that stuff like moving side to side is left to the analog stick. The on-rail stuff, I guess, helps for some of the cooler-looking sections. But I do feel that, we didn't really need to keep on the rail stuff from Secret Rings.
No, not really.
The music, phenomenal.
It is.
Voice acting, great. The story is fun, funny, dramatic, and serious when it needs to be. So overall, I'd say that this is a great... I'd say that this is a good game. As for the final boss, definitely good. In fact, it gets to the point where you're well-versed enough with the gameplay, so that's all fine. Again, the main issue with this game is it's lacking content, especially compared to Secret Rings, which admittedly had a bit too much, but that was more so in the padding department.
Yeah.
Again, this game needed to be bigger because, honestly, I think that if you made it bigger, that would have given people a lot more time to get used to it because, again, by the time you get used to that gameplay, you're pretty much up to the final boss, which is a bit of a shame. Now, granted, it is nice that we have multiple playable characters who all control differently enough, but also the same enough. So that's also another good plus on them. So this is definitely a good game. However, it could have been longer. Needed to be longer.
I agree. It could have been longer, but at the same time, Priority number 1: fix the gameplay. Remove the rail shit. It doesn't need to be here. Anyway, that's about it, I guess. Then see if for whatever. I guess the next game we could be doing for Sonic is Mania. Maybe we'll see where that
Or
goes.
Sonic 06.
Or actually starting again.
Or Sonic Genesis.
Or starting again for the very basic.
Maybe we'll see. Well, Shira is the one doing Sonic 1 Mobile, so we'll see.
We'll
Anyway,
see. See
3,
ya.
2. That's all. Sorry. See you, everybody.